Evening. Well, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. But where I am, it's evening, and this is the Happy Employee Coach. Yes. So yesterday we spoke to some alumni from the Happy Employee Training, the boot camp, and other cohort-based programs I have run, and we thought today to let's get some more people, right, coming into the program that have come into the program to just speak. So this evening, I want to speak to with people live at work, right after the happy employee training, live at work after the happy employee training. So I'm going to just speak to a few people about what the experience is, and just share with us some things that happened within the boot camp. So if you are on LinkedIn and you can hear me on your YouTube, let's know in the comment section so that we can know where you're joining us from. I want to just have a quick chat with you. And if you have any questions about being happy at work, let me know. You have any questions about being happy at work? How was your week? I say to people that if your boss annoys you more than 3 times a week, you need a happy employee boot camp, right? I mean, that kind of annoyance that you are vexing, you are voking, you're upset. If that happens more than 3 times a week, you definitely do need a happy employee boot camp. And some people reach out to me to say, oh, hmm, um, I can't do group coaching. Can we do one-on-one? By all means, right? By all means, you can do one-on-one. You can't get one-on-one. Yeah, and the group coaching as well just gives you an opportunity to learn from a framework I have defined. But what happens is that when you do one-on-one as well, I can then speak to your particular situation. Even though in the group coaching you can ask me questions directly, right, and I'm able to answer those questions via the Q&A process. Okay, so um I was saying before that if your boss annoys you more than 3 times a week, then we need to have a conversation, right? Because the question of you being upset at work, we need to sit down and ask ourselves, why is it happening? What do you need to do differently? What can you learn from it? Are you having repeated incidences of being annoyed by your boss? We need to fix that one as well. If it's happening too often, we need to sit down and ask ourselves what's going on, right? Because I tell people, like, no one I've met as a working adult has told me that they spend less than 70% of their waking hours at or around work. So if it's that serious, if we spend that much time at and around work, then we've got to see, how do we make the most of the experience? How do we make the experience more livable for ourselves? How can you make the experience more livable for yourself being at work, right? How do you make it more livable for yourself? It's really important. You've got to ask yourself that question. How do you make the experience for yourself more livable? And that's really what being happy at work is. It's like we're not waiting and leaving it to an employer or to a manager to fix us, or we're actually taking an active role, right? We're taking an active role. And I find that many of us, as human beings, as adults in general, we just kind of sit back and allow life to happen to us, like, okay, that's what happened. Okay, that's what happened. And that's it. We're not even intentional, right? With asking ourselves, how do I make life happen for myself? It's not about waiting for life to happen to you. It's really saying, how do I make life happen for myself? That's so important, right? So today I want to speak to two alumni. I say alumni from the Happy Employee Training Programs. And yes, we have Toyeshe on the call. Hello, 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 hello. Good to have you again this evening. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. I want to be sure that we are live on LinkedIn. I couldn't use the particular event, so I just want to check that yes, we are live on LinkedIn. Yes, we are live on LinkedIn. So welcome to Yeshe. Welcome. Thank you for agreeing to do this at what's the word I'm going to use? Incredibly, magnificently short notice. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
100% fantastic, and I can hear you as well. So thank you for joining. I'm not going to take a lot of your time. I'm going to make this very quick as we have this conversation, right? So I want to hear, I mean, the whole idea of this is to hear from you, your experience post the happy employee training, the various programs you've been in, like someone said yesterday, he said that he really even liked that his encounter with me via newsletters was like a different experience from even LinkedIn alone, where it was just short posts, right? So you've come on this kind of interview, would I say, before, and so I want to just ask you and to share with the audience, how did you get to meet the happy employee coach, and what has the experience been for you? Like, how did you get to meet the happy employee coach? What has the experience, well, let's start with how did you get to meet the happy employee coach, and maybe the various ways you've interacted, let's talk about that.
Well, I must say, let me start by saying, I hope you can hear me very well,
100%.
ma. Okay, I must say, how will I say, I'm the biggest number one fan of Apple Employee Coach because I've been impacted, right? And I'm a big stalker, of Happy Employee Coach publications, posts, and stuff like that. I'm always on our page. I have it, on a bookmark,
Awesome.
and because there's always something to learn, there's always new tips to pick and stuff like that. So I got, the first time I got, in contact with it was on Instagram. Interestingly, that day we were about three people live on the live call then, and then I was just scrolling through, and I just let me just stick to it, and then this person is talking, or this person talking is like my future. This is somebody I want to do, stuff I want to do. So I just stayed there on that Instagram live, and then I was listening in. I think it should be on a Sunday
Yeah,
evening
it
then,
was.
it should be on a Sunday, 7 p.m. thereabout. I know it was in the
Mm-hmm.
evening, 7 p.m. thereabout. So I just stayed there, and the person and you mentioned one of those things that struck me was, and in my experience too, I help people to get jobs and stuff like that. But 6 months down the line, even before they get confirmed, they are telling me, Toyeshe, please, do you have any other opportunity? Can you help me talk to somebody else and stuff? I said, why? But you did a Thanksgiving in church some 4 or 5 months ago. We gave thanks to God together. So why you not? Why are you moving again? He said, I don't like that place and stuff like that. Then when you now mention something that it is not enough to have a job, you need to be happy at your job. So that struck me because I know very few people or not many people are happy doing that job. People just get get the check, and then they pay their bills and stuff like that. But are you really enjoying the job? Do you really like doing that job? So that was one of those things that struck me. So that's my first interaction. Then I began to, I think you were very much present on Instagram then before you became very much active on LinkedIn. Then I am a LinkedIn person anyway. So then I started following up on LinkedIn, um, stalking your page anyway. I have it on notification. So when you post, I read and stuff like that. So and then when you release the book, I read it. I shared it with my friends. I don't know if this anyway. I shared that with my friends. I got the
Template,
salary
yes.
calculator.
Mm-hmm.
I shared it with my team, and from there, it has always been value
let,
from
let, let, let me
every
let
time.
me
Yeah,
allow you pause first, right, and take you back a bit. There's something you said you came across the page and you saw someone that looks like your future. I think that's something that many of us don't
yeah,
get intentional with. And if I will say it on this call, for me, there are people that I see that look like my future, and it's not even about age in this case. Some of them were peers, but what they've been able to
hmm,
achieve in collapsing time in their lives, I'm like, that's it. I was just talking with somebody this evening about this same thing. Like, and I've written stuff about it. I've written about it over and over again. We are creatures of influence. We are designed to be influenced. Don't kid yourself. Don't pretend and say, I'm a man of my word, I'm a woman, nobody can. See, the way you are created in your DNA, your makeup is that you are designed to be influenced. The sooner you sit into it and accept it, then you begin to say, okay, how do I curate my influences so that I get into a life that I like? Do you understand? Like, so for me, that's just so powerful. Like, if you are on this life, you got to ask yourself, how am I being influenced? Because sometimes I feel like some of us just live our life like, okay, wake up in the morning, we go to work, come back, we just look at social media and scroll. You are being influenced on a daily. So can you please just get intentional with what that influence will be? For me, that's really the definition of adulthood, that you are intentional with saying, this is how I am going to be influenced. Like you are intentional with that. So don't kid yourself and say, oh, I'm easily influenced. Trust me, we're all designed for influence. The second thing that you said, right, is that we need to go beyond saying, I am making money at the job, and ask ourselves, am I truly enjoying this job? And you say that, and it reminds me of that when I first started going by the name the Happy Employee Coach, people would DM me and people would comment and say, hey, happy employee. We're supposed to be happy as employees. I would get those, I'm telling you, I would get those comments. People will be saying, hey, what do you have to say about that?
Yeah, what I say it is people don't have the mindset of ownership,
Mm,
right? They see it like there's this, maybe because of our culture, this oga, sorry for speaking
mhm,
Yoruba, you might not understand oga almost
mhm,
kind of
mhm,
relationship. In Yoruba, there's an idea they say, okay, the omoshe does not care. That is, the
mhm,
subordinate does not care. As long as more money is being paid, then it can go. Whether the business survives or not, they don't care about that, right? So they only see it like, I'm supporting somebody else's dream, so why should I give it my all and everything? Just get me, pay me my bills, and let me go. But then what you are getting from work, like you always say, right, is more than the
mm,
salary. The salary is part of it, right? Somebody paying you is like, even while you are learning, while you are earning, we are actualizing your own career goals and stuff like that. So it's more than that. So people begin to see it like, let me just get a job and stuff like. But when you begin to see it like, okay, what I'm getting is more than the
mm,
money. So I'm getting quality. You kept mentioning this, and this has been, a product. I might say has really influenced me. Relationship at work is very, very
mm,
important. So the relationship I have at work, even when we've left 3, 4 years and down the line, we still
mm,
keep in contact, and they even bring more opportunities to me. So you are getting relationships, you are getting opportunity to learn, and many more like that. So if you are getting all of those with the money they are paying you, why will you not be happy at it? So I'm spending, pretty much the largest number of my waking days while at work. So why will I go to work every single day? I am scared. I don't want to make mistakes because my manager will shout at
mm,
me or stuff like that, or my manager does not like my face. Or so why should you be scared going to
mm.
work? You should enjoy your job, right? You should enjoy it. So that's very use paid, but then you should enjoy what you are doing. Yeah.
I like, man, they're just dropping truth bombs as always, right? You should not be scared going to work. Like, and that there is more to what we do than the salary, right? There's a lot more to what you do than the salary. Dami, welcome, welcome, welcome. Can you hear me?
Thank you. Yes, I can hear you, ma. Good evening.
Awesome,
Good
awesome.
evening.
Good
Sorry for coming
evening.
late.
No, it's fine. It's fine. No, I know technology is technology, right? But welcome and thank you for being willing to join this live stream at
It's a
short notice. I really appreciate it. It's going to be a very short
pleasure.
one. I'm
Okay.
not going to take your time. I promise you. Another 20 minutes, we're out. It's not going to be that long. So I'd ask some questions to Toyeshe. Let me just ask you. Can you talk to us about how you met the Happy Employee Coach? Like, how did you meet, right? And what your experience was that made you to stick around and say, okay, I'm going to stick around. So can you talk to us about that?
Okay, so I met the happy employee. Okay, she's actually a church member. So, and I happened to be in one of the conferences in church that she spoke, and it got and that's just that short while I got fascinated, and I decided to go and check her out on LinkedIn, and I saw so many things she has done, and it got me really interested, especially the areas that she was talking about. I knew that those were areas that I needed to grow, I needed improvement. So that's how I got glued. I started following. And I must say that it's been really, really impactful with a lot of results. Let me just end here.
Awesome, awesome. I like that. So can you share with us the first program you signed up for? Why did you even sign up for it? What made you sign up and what was the experience like? What was that like for you?
So my first the first training I signed up for, it was even well. So now what?
Yeah. Oops. Oh, we've lost Dami. Hopefully she'll come back on
Yeah.
live, right? But let me ask Tuyeshe, can you talk to us about the experience, right? Specifically, what transformed in your experience with respect to how you relate with your manager? Let's talk about one or two things that transformed in that area, how you relate with your manager.
Okay, I think the first thing that transformed how I relate my manager is I began to understand what he actually wants from me. Before now, I've worked with different managers before I entered and I read the book, right? So I always believe just get your, and then take your bag and go, right? But then I will, even while I knew then, I knew him before I joined the company. In fact, he told me, come and work with me, right? But I still don't have that kind of conversation where where it can move from I know you to I trust you, right? So
Hmm.
so
Hmm.
I when I now know what he wants from me, where he wants, because we have monthly check-ins. But I just reel out numbers and okay, I've been able to do this, I've been able to do that. Okay, what are the challenges you have? Okay, this yada yada yada. But then it's not just deep enough. So when I read the book, I now began to see what are the tasks he doesn't even like doing. Then became interested in that because we know probably we want to go to a meeting together with some head of the other departments which concerns my task, and then I will see he's not really interested. Then I become interested, so I will prepare my reports. All of these things we will discuss in that meeting, then I will send it to him. Then it's transformed from I know you to I trust you. So he will just, oh, so why don't you just have conversation with that people? I will not be joining today. So he began to trust me with more responsibilities. We have
Ah.
events, projects in organization wise. He just, oh, Toyeshe, you and a very good friend of mine also. I say, yeah, Toyeshe and this lady, you know, take care of that. And then he watches. So it's only when we hit roadblocks, there's still a lot of approvals. We need country managers, global managers. They say, hey, we need this, and then he will now step in. But the handling of all the other processes, he gave his to that. So it changed from I know what my manager wants. It's now moved from I know you to I trust you.
You know what I like about this, and I'm taking notes, so to be very honest, because you said something. You said when you read the book and you took the lessons, what you did was to say, what tasks do I see that manager struggles with? He doesn't really like doing, and how can I come in there? That is so powerful. I am definitely writing a post about that because I never thought about it like, okay, sit down and think of, oh, what task don't they like, I didn't even think of that, to be honest. So I'm really
Yeah.
asking myself, like, okay, so sitting down and saying this is a task, and what it then did for you is because you took responsibility, it's now giving you visibility across the company. That's just
Yeah.
brilliant. That's
Yeah.
absolutely brilliant. Like, that's just because what it does is that your manager now says, I can rely on you. So it's not just I know you, it's I trust you because you have read me and you know
Yeah.
where I need help and you've risen to the task. That is so brilliant. That's so brilliant. Anyone watching this, please take note. See, I tell people, even with the C-suite speak that we do, right? I tell people that me, I'm number one learner. People can be saying, oh, she has almost 20 years experience. Forget, I am the number one learner in all of these things I'm doing. I am at the four. You cannot learn past me in this matter. I promise you. And I'm just taking notes and realizing, wow, that's just so brilliant. Thank you. Dami, now that we have you back, let's ask the question, right? What is one thing that has transformed in your work experience, right, since you encountered the happy employee coach at work, first of all, and then one of the areas we'll touch on again is money. But let's talk about work first. What's one thing that transformed in you attending the programs, staying, reading the books, just being in this community? Tell us, talk to us about that.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I'll start from work experience. So it actually changed my mindset. in as regards to my income, because before the training I used to have this mindset that I'm learning just too little to help me to get to that standard of living that I wanted,
Mm.
the way I wanted to be projected at the work, because I'm salesperson and I'm faced to customers every day. So you want to look like what you want to earn from your customers. You want them to be able to trust them.
Mm.
And I feel like I'm not looking it because what I was earning was little. And at the end of the day, it affected the way I treated work because I felt that I'm not appreciated enough and I wasn't giving my value. I wasn't giving enough value for what I was employed for. So at the end of the day, I felt my company wasn't doing me well, but I ended up not doing myself well because of the mindset I had. But after the
Mm.
training, I started appreciating the little I thought I was earning, because it now became a lot with the information I got and what I could do with the
Mm.
money. So the money
Mm.
became, I started appreciating my income. I started appreciating the job, and the way I appeared to the office was different. You see,
Mm.
some people will be complaining about what they earn, but at the end of it made me realize that is the satisfaction to what is the energy we are reflecting on the job, and is the
Mm.
reason we are putting into the job, and the result you also get from your managers, your leaders, and also
Mm.
for our life. It really changed my life. Oh. It changed my life. It changed some habits, some things that should have been influenced, that should have exposed me negative. I was protected. So, for instance, when it comes to the bills I could be paying, I could comfortably pay my bills without soliciting for help. Unlike before, once it's end of the month, like I already finished my salary before the next salary comes. But now I actually do finish my salary before it comes now, but in a better way because I already name my
Mm. Love it. Whoa, whoa. Dami, wait. You just dropped something there. Wait. I like how you said this thing you just said. This is so beautiful. She said, before now, my salary used to finish before the next paycheck, but now I finish salary in a different way. That is like that's let me write it down. Continue. Wait first. Let me be writing first. Because this is just like I am intentionally finishing my salary in a different way before payday. Oh my goodness. Sorry. I had to pause you there to let that sink in. Wow, amazing. Please
much
continue.
I've learned from you, ma. So, and also the budget template you shared with us, it actually helps me because I used to be somebody that I run away from figures. I don't like figures, and as a sanguine that I am, I do um impulse buying. And most of the time, I buy things I need and the ones I don't need. Then I now end up realizing that my money is not enough. I won't do those necessary things. So, budget template helped me to prioritize my budget, my needs. And
Mm,
so we thank God that I was learning from somebody that we are of the same spiritual background.
yeah.
So it helped me prioritize
Mm,
better. I brought my tithing to, as much of a Christian that I never was a believer of tithing. So that actually helped me prioritize because I used to be those people that would think I needed to be convinced. I don't want anybody because it was beginning to look like a religious activity than
mm.
and than than a what's the word now
A
than
lifestyle that was going to be
a
rewarded
life.
by God.
Yes. So I now decided I started tithing. I started seeing the benefit to tithing. I started honoring my parents. I started saving, and I started investing too because I didn't even realize I didn't even know that I have enough to be saving, then to now start investing and paying enough of my bills. So, and part of the when I said that he actually helped me, protected, he shielded me, because when I thought my salary was not enough, I was exposing myself to asking for help from where I shouldn't, and people will not
Mm,
start taking advantage. Then I was
mm.
necessary dating, and so because I started saving better, I could afford things that anybody wants to influence me or want to entice me with. I could pay my rent without begging. I could pay my daughter's school fees. I could even buy myself clothes with
You are
sense.
getting me I'm having goosebumps. I'm almost crying.
Really, it really. my life in a whole lot of.
Wow.
I can see my salary when it comes, and I can smile.
Jeez.
Not like before that would just come in again. But now I can smile like, okay, I can now add up to my to my investment. I can add up to my savings, and no matter, I might not have loose change, but when I'm so broke, like I don't have loose change, when I go back to my investment, I just find that I never broke finish. So that's how much I can go on and on, but let me just stop here.
Wow. That me. Okay. This is serious. This is, I know we've had these conversations, but I don't know. I think hearing it again is doing something to me. And I need to compose myself. Um, okay. Honestly, I mean, we've had these conversations, but sometimes you do a lot of hard work. You are trying to put yourself out there, trying to help people to, and do what you can, right? And yes, you're making an impact. You hear these things, but hearing it again, just it's like it's humbling, and it's encouraging, because sometimes you sit down, you are juggling, you're trying to do a lot of things at the same time. Why shouldn't I go and watch? Some days I was telling someone recently that sometimes it takes me 3 days to watch a 1.5 hour movie, because I'm exhausted. I'm sleeping at 11, waking up before I'm writing consistently. So hearing this, right, really, and we've had conversations, but it's just hitting me to say the fact that just learning that this same salary that I think is too small, now I'm able to protect and shield myself from nonsense. And it reminds me of someone that was one of the cohorts that said to me, she was crying and she said that her husband is talking to her differently because of the way she's handling money going forward. And I used to think, this one is not overhype, but when I hear these things over and over again, I realize that maybe it's not really overhype. It's really true that people are able to sit back and say, this money, I can actually do a lot with this money. Like, this money I was overlooking or underlooking or disregarding, I'm actually able to literally lift myself. You talk about tithing, honoring your parents, paying your rent, not getting insulted, right? Because, I have to ask for money or something. That for me is just so powerful. And I can't thank you enough for, willing, being open to share about this. So, yes, let's hear from you. When it comes to money, what has changed?
Okay. I'm trying to remember a word I once wrote about. I call it I want to pronounce
Ostentation.
it ostentatious display of wealth. Yeah. Growing up, I didn't have good shoes, right? So when I started working, I bought shoes every single week. So yes, when I'm going home, I will buy new shoes. Why? Because it makes me happy. Why? Because growing up when I was in school, I didn't have good shoes, right? So there was a day I was just looking at my shoe rack and stuff like that, and I saw a lot of shoes I was not even wearing, for 1 month, 2 months, and I was like, what am I using all of these shoes for? Then it was about the time I got the salary, planning and stuff like that. Then I was thinking, I was taking my MBA then I was always stretched. I had to sometimes stay late into the office and stuff like that because I need to study and stuff and like that. So I was not having enough money in my pocket. And then when I got home, I got the salary. I was looking for where to cut, budget so that I can put more money in education and stuff like that. Then I look at my shoe rack and I say, why would I have this much, shoe rack? So then I figured out that sometimes ostentatious display of words, I can write it very well. Anybody can also for the spelling. I know the meaning, right?
It's
So
fine.
yeah. So and then at that time, I know then definitely I'm not budgeting very well. Then I know where to cut, budget. Again, I wanted to increase my, earning capacity. So I had a discussion with my manager and I know, I'm already at the peak of the band for my
Hmm.
role or in the role. And then promotion was not coming then. So where else can I get money? I know, okay, I can write. Then I started writing, but then I want to grow that too. Where will I get money from? Then I started keeping some money, saving it together to put it in my side also to grow it. So interacting with that, coupled with the fact that I even share the template with my team. I've told you before, I'm saying this again. I shared the templates with my team, and everybody loved it. Even our team in Kenya then loved it, and then we were able to start like
Cooperative.
what
Yeah.
do we call it? Like a cooperative. We put money aside. At first, we were buying food stuff. At first, we were buying, December is coming, pulling money together and stuff like that. There was a sense of responsibility to that. I wanted to get married, right? I know I needed some money to get married. I need to put some money together. My pastor will always say, uh, when you have money,
Yes,
there's more
so
romance.
no
There's
romance
no
without
good
finance. Yes, so
finance. Yeah, so you need that. So I started putting money aside. So it changed. I wasn't spending money on frivolities anymore. So I became more intentional about where am I putting my money, and then how is my money going. And then also black tax. You've always said all this very well. Like I always say, one of the motivation for me to wake up every day and work is that I wanted to become that rich uncle I never had.
mm,
You know, I give people money everywhere.
mhm.
It makes me feel cool, right? But then I figure that these people that I'm giving money now, if I'm giving them and I'm not having enough money to invest and expand it, they will still be all right now. They won't drop dead. They will still be all right. So I started saving that money. So I will only budget. This is how much I want to give to you. And then, yes, I have a beautiful wife now. She helps me to manage that too. So this is how much we are giving, this month. Oh no, you can't do that. You want to buy somebody this? No, you can't do that. So it helps me to manage, and I can now put resources to where it matters. That is not helping me to grow, an
One of the
additional
major
income.
things I've heard
Yeah.
from what you've said to share is the power of having a dream, right? When you have something else that is important to you that you want to do, it begins to help you curate how you use your money. It begins to help you say, okay, what am I doing differently? How am I going to do things differently going forward? And I think that I'm learning so much from this. I think I'm going to make this a recurring thing once a month. I'm going to have a hangout with alumni, just let's sit and have a conversation, live conversation around, what we're learning so other people can learn, because I'm listening to you guys, and yes, I'm your coach, but I am learning so much. Like, I'm writing, if I show you the notes I'm writing, like I'm typing as you guys are talking, and I'm like, what? There's so much to unpack here, right? So, Dami, talk to us about how this has impacted your self-esteem, right? And your relationship with people at work and even your friends. Let's talk about how the things you've learned, right, has impacted your self-esteem and your relationship with people at work. Let's talk about that.
Oh, really? It has it has really impacted on my self-esteem. So I think sometimes when you the value you attach to money, sometimes we attach so much, like what we earn, we tend to commensurate it with the value we are
Mm,
given. So we feel that little they are paying us for the value. And I remember in one of your the teachings, you said something about nobody can pay you enough for your
mm,
value. So so because of that, I okay, part of the things I learned was to attach more value to what you earn, and the way you can attach value is what you do with it. So because of what I started doing with my income, the income became more than, like, it became more valuable
mm.
to me, and I saw the understanding that I was valuable. I'm a valuable asset to my company, and I started giving value. So even though at the time that I received this lecture, I was working in a place that I wasn't able to what's the right word now? I wasn't able to maximize my potential. And at the time I felt like it was a meeting. So even though I tried so much to implement all I've learned, I wasn't getting the expected
Hmm.
results. And when I moved working when I started working somewhere else, and I now re-implemented. That's when I now confirmed that it wasn't a meeting, it
The
was
environment.
the other person's
Hmm.
own. So the lesson made me have an understanding of my value, the value I'm putting in, and he gave me enough confidence to know that I'm a valuable asset and I should give it. So when I joined the new workspace, he gave me this like I joined in being aware. I joined in being informed. So I knew what to do to get results, to get the desired result I wanted. And I actually got it. So to maybe to the part of so working in that new place gave me more confidence, because before I was working with fear, like I wasn't giving value because what I was paid was commensurating to the
Hmm.
value the company attached to me. So when I moved to somewhere else, I joined in differently, trying to re-implement what I've learned, and I got value. I was appreciated, and a testament of all of this is to my recent appraisal. In 3 years, like I've not gotten what I wanted, but this time I got an A. In my mind, I was wondering, so I actually A, and this time around, I got an A, and I felt like I actually deserved it because I've
Hmm.
put in work. Because if you haven't done the work previously, I was actually praying that make my oga give me B, even though I see just push my people, let my people go. Because I felt like I wasn't worth it. Like I've not worked, put in the work enough to value that. But in when I implemented in the new place, I knew that I deserve this. And I was tracking my efforts. So I knew that even if I got less, I can
You have a basis to
and I have
engage.
proof to tell that this is what I've he gave and it was because of what I've learned that I could implement all of this. And he gave me that confidence to be able to do the work, defend the work,
Hmm.
got the result for it. I was proud enough to receive it that yes, I've earned this.
Wow.
So that it gave me that confidence. And also that life too. It gave me the confidence that yes, I can pay my bills. Nobody can come and tell me, let me not use the wrong word. Like
Yeah.
nobody can
Tell
come and
you
tell me
rubbish.
nonsense that
Yes. Right?
and one thing I do appreciate myself once I earn my payday, even if I don't do anything, I know I've paid my bills and I take myself to I like food a lot, so I'll just take myself to a restaurant. I'll go and buy myself a good meal to reward myself for a good job.
Awesome. Wow.
So that's how
Wow. 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 Oh wow. Okay. So let me ask Toyeshe, right? What are your last words to anybody who is watching this live and wondering, is it worth investing this money with the Happy Employee Coach? Should I sign up for this boot camp? Should I sign up to be trained by her? Let me just hear what you have to say to the person as we begin to wrap up.
Okay. I would just want to, break the value you will get from Happy Employee Coach down. Number one, you will be happy at your job. Uh, yes. That's number one thing. And why do you think you need to be happy at your job? So many people are not happy at their job, right?
Hmm.
Spend majority of your waking time going to that job, thinking about it. So why should you not be happy at your job?
Hmm.
Another thing is the blessing of God. When God blesses us, it has no sorrow to it.
Hmm.
So, and then you now need to learn the principles of how the blessing comes and how to manage the blessing, and that's why you need to join the
Hmm.
APM.
Hmm.
Another thing is, who is your president? You will know what the economy is like, right? If Tinubu is your president and my president also, and everybody in Nigeria is complaining, oh, we pay for this, oh, we pay for that, this is that. Yes, even in the midst of scarcity, we enjoy abundance, but there's a knowledge to manage abundance. So join
Yes.
this boot camp to know how to manage not enough to more than enough. So
Hmm.
when you join this boot camp, you will move from not enough to more than enough. Another
Hmm.
thing why you need to join this boot camp is you will know how to manage relationships. When God
Yeah.
wants to bless you, He's going to bring relationships your way. He's not going to give you money. You won't just wake up one day and find $1,000 under your pillow. God will God will bring relationships to you. When you join this boot camp, you will meet, classmates. You will meet,
Hmm.
tutors that will, and and pull you. They said God raised men, right? That will
Yeah.
raise one level of not enough to more than enough. So you need to
Hmm.
join, this boot camp. Another thing you will learn is how to, position yourself for more. And because part of the curriculum of the boot camp is positioning for promotion, right?
Yes.
Everybody wants that because if you get promoted on that job that you are listening to me doing today, you get more money, you get more prestige. You put it on LinkedIn, say I recently got promoted, people will like you, you post fine picture and stuff like that. So learn how to position for that. So because and not many people teach you. I teach people how to get jobs. We go to school, spend 4 5 years. They really never taught you how to get jobs. But more than getting jobs, how do you become happy at it? And more than
Hmm.
happy at it, how do you prosper in that job? So
Yes.
if
How
you
to
want to prosper in that job, you need positioning. You need to know, part of the book is saying you need to have an ally. in the workspace? How
Yes.
do you have allies?
So
And it define the kind of allies you have, right? How do you need to have your, how like your promoters? Yes, it defines
yes.
the kind of promoters you should have. You see, when you have the right promoter, when your manager is interested that you see this guy, I will make sure he's getting it right. You will enjoy your job. Because in my experience, I have noticed that many people leave their job because of their manager. Most, in the grand, about 50 to 60% of why people leave jobs is because of their manager,
Yeah.
right? Because your
Very true.
experience is shaped with who directly manages you. Even if the company is toxic, if you have an amazing manager, you want to come to
Mm-hmm.
work,
Yeah.
your work will appreciated, right? You feel valued, even when this company, the way they are doing. But my guy will always tell me, let's come, let's do it, let's do it. Stay.
Mm.
You are not going home today. Sit down there. We are making
Mm.
these calls today. And I will sit down there, 7, 8 p.m. I'm still making calls. Why do I enjoy making calls 7, 8 p.m.? I want to sleep on my bed and enjoy myself. It's because my manager asked me to do it. The experience is shaping. It's not, and when people will come here, my mental health, so I will be like, in this same organization, me, what's your own mental health? Me, I'm doing fine now. So, other people in other team will be complaining about their mental health. So you need to position for more. You need to go from not enough to more than enough. Tinubu is your president. You need this. And even globally, probably you're not in
Yeah.
Nigeria anyway. We understand how the world economy
True.
is today. I understand, just yesterday, some people were saying somebody joined from Pakistan and Ireland. Amazing, right? It is happening
Yes.
all
So
over the world. People are not happy at that. So if you join this boot camp, these are the value
wow.
you will
Even me,
get.
I want to sign up
Thank you.
now. Me, I have to sign up for this boot camp. Me, I'm signing up for the boot camp. That means let's hear from you as we wrap this up. Why should anyone sign up for this boot camp?
Yes, I think Toyoshi has said all the nice things. I'm not going to say all the nice things, but I said everything that needs to be said. All I'll just say is that you don't need to be motivated to be a better person.
Hmm.
I think you should just be self-motivated to do something good for yourself. And if you want something good for yourself, I think this is the right place to, because ma'am, I think you're not even doing enough justice in letting people know how
Yes.
much
Yeah, I
benefit
agree
this
with you on
yields.
that one. I need to do better.
Because only if, and I think maybe you should do this
Yes,
more often. Let
I will.
alumni come and,
Definitely, I will do this
guys,
more often.
because there are a lot of benefits these are giving people in their personal life, on their job, that they are not even sharing
Hmm.
enough. So maybe when they share enough, know that this is not scam, this is not paid,
Hmm.
this one is real life, this is my real life experience. I didn't know that it was going to benefit me this
Hmm.
much until I started seeing results. So if you want results, if you don't want to keep repeating circles and patterns, just come and pay this little for an improvement, to get something
Hmm.
different. And if you don't come, you're on your own.
Awesome, awesome.
Thank
I'm going to say thank you very much. I have another session I need to go into. And like I've said and we've said, right, I am going to do more of this, bringing alumni up, right, intentionally to share their story and their experience, right. I agree with you, Dami. We're not doing enough justice to the conversation around how beneficial it is to be in this boot camp, okay? So I'm going to say a big thank you to you both for coming on live at such short notice. I don't take it for granted at all. I'm very grateful. Thank you for sharing freely. Thank you for letting people know what they will benefit from being part of this. So if you are here and you are still debating whether I should come into the happy employee family, well, you've heard it all. No need for long talk. Thank you so much, Damian Toyoshi, and have a fantastic weekend. God bless you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
you, man.
Bye.